Let's start.
Yes, indeed. We are starting the nighttime heat on this beautiful Thursday. Sabo George is my name. We are here tonight to bring you an interesting discussion, interesting debate about trending national issues. We are streaming live on our Facebook and our YouTube channel. Just tap on Nighttime Heat. You're going to follow the show online and watch the show and enjoy the show as well. We are also streaming on Pram FM, Monrovia 105.5. Again, Pram FM Monrovia 105.5. We are streaming live. Kindly share the show tonight so that your friends, your relatives, your loved ones, your partners can also follow what's happening tonight on the program. This is your only unboring talk show during the evening hours. So kindly share the show. If you are watching live, share the show so that your friends, your relatives, your loved ones, your partners can also follow what's happening tonight on the program. Now, first, let me just acquaint you with what is coming up. If all goes well, we'll be playing host to the former mayor of Monrovia and also the Secretary General, I'm sure, of the Congress for Democratic Change, Jefferson Koji. We'll be having a discussion with him on trending national issues for an hour. And then our panelists will look at a couple of things as well. The IG, the Inspector General of the Liberia National Police, has confirmed that some police officers are part of the ongoing investigation. In fact, they have been investigated. They have been investigated in connection with the over 300 million drug busts. Wow, it's troubling. In fact, one of them today was relieved of his post. We'll look into that in totality. My panelists and I will also do an analysis. Samuel Tuel, yesterday, they appeared on a local station. And of course, he made some startling revelations about drama in the ruling Unity Party. How true is it? We're going to talk about that tonight also on the program. The government of Liberia has launched the draft national budget, and we're going to look at we're going to talk about it as the importance of that draft budget. Who spoke there? Some of the things that the president that he talked about. I know the Minister of Finance and Development Planning spoke at that program. We're going to talk about that as well. Now, we understand that the Ministry of Justice has released 3 whistleblowers, jurors. Just quite recent, I think 15 of them, was thrown behind bars at the Monrovia Central Prison for acts they committed for some irregularity. And so today we understand that 3 of the jurors, I'm sure the ones that blew the whistles, that yes, were tampered with. 3 of them were released today from the Monrovia Central Prison. We're going to talk about that as well tonight on the program. Let me welcome the panelists who are here for now. David Beretus Rasmus Namwitawe. David, welcome to the program.
Thank you, sir.
Sorry.
Thank you, sir, and good evening. Good evening to everyone, including our technicians in the background. I'd like to say hi to my fellow panelists who haven't arrived yet. We hope that we have a wonderful night.
Okay, thank you, Dave. And let me also welcome Moses. Moses, I think you have to use the usual way of coming on because I have a couple of things on the phone. But welcome to the program.
Thank you. Do you have the link in the chat room right now?
Yes, the link is in the chat room. Just go into the chat room and get a link there from there. Yeah.
So let me do that.
Okay.
Let me do that and come back.
Okay. Thank you, Moses. Thank you. And like we said, we'll be conducting an interview, currently ensure to establish contact with the former mayor. Currently ensure to do that quickly. Establish contact. I've been informed that the link is with him already. And so this is a nighttime heater tonight. It promises to be very interesting. Yes, I'm sure the link is there. It promises to be very, very interesting. Like I said, if all goes well, we'll be conducting an interview with former mayor and Secretary General of the Congress of Democratic Change, Jefferson Koji. We'll talk with him for a few minutes. And then also my panelists and I will be also trying to look at and go into the police IG confirmation of some of his men being part of the over 300 million drug bust investigation. We're going to look at that also. In fact, one of them was relieved of his post today. Samuel Tua yesterday appeared on a local station and he made some startling revelations about what's happening in the ruling unity party, involving some key individuals. The game being played and all of that ahead of 2029. We're going to talk about that. How true is it? But some of what he said, I think they got some truism in them. We'll talk about that later on, on the program tonight. Also, the government has launched today national draft budget, and the Minister of Finance and Development Planning spoke there. We're going to listen to that tape and talk about it briefly. Today, the government, that's the Ministry of Justice, released 3 whistleblower jurors from the Monrovia Central Prison. There were those who blew the whistles and said, look, we're tempered with. Yes, we got the fact. We have all of the evidence. We got the pieces of evidence. And they adduced that in court. And so, but they were part of the other 12 that were slammed bad. So they all went to jail. But today, we understand that 3 of the jurors were released from prison. And so, Moses, are you back now? You listening to the Nighttime Heat? Written on Prime FM 105.5. We are streaming live on our Facebook and our YouTube channel. You want to watch the show online? Just type Nighttime Heat. And of course, you're going to follow the show online, either on your Facebook or either on your YouTube. We are also streaming live on Prime FM Monrovia 105.5. Thanks to the Prime FM family for allowing us to use their platform as well to stream live on the program. So, Dave, what is it trending? Is it the link?
Yeah, I haven't received it yet.
Okay.
I hope the guy comes.
Yeah, let me bring my phone quickly so I can send it to you. But what's trending on your mind? We're trying to wait for the...
What's trending on my mind? I remember a few months ago that I said the same thing. Look, Saba, I am totally pissed off with the people calling themselves drivers in this country. They still haven't understood the purpose of a crosswalk. They still haven't understood that. They still don't know that. These are people who started driving by heart. They did not go to driving schools. And then that should be mandatory. That anyone who drives a car in this country attends a driving school so that you can understand street signs and other things about driving in a city like Monrovia, any other city around the world. Mm-hmm. Because a driver sees either a keke or tricycle rider or a commercial or private car sees people on the crosswalk crossing, and they start driving towards you, and you have to start running because they're coming towards you. That is to suggest that they still haven't known the purpose of a crosswalk. And I'm also pissed off with people calling themselves traffic police. They stand in all street corners and say they are regulating the traffic. Yet and said, you see, these reckless drivers who don't know what a crosswalk, what the purpose, what the meaning of crosswalk, driving towards a pedestrian and without the intervening. So that's what I'm on my side, but I'm totally pissed off with that.
Okay, is Moses on now? Okay, it seems he's still trying to connect. But listeners and viewers who are listening to the Nighttime Heat, Return on Prime FM, Monrovia 105.5. We are streaming live on our Facebook and our YouTube channel. Can you tell him quickly? We are streaming live on our Facebook and our YouTube channel. Just tap Nighttime Heat. And of course, you're going to watch the show online and follow the show as well, either on your Facebook or either on your YouTube. Besides, you can also watch the show on Prime FM Monrovia 105.5. It's another platform, Prime FM Monrovia 105.5. As soon as you lock in there, you're going to watch the show online as well. Well, tonight, like I said, if all goes well, we'll be conducting an interview with the former mayor of the city of Monrovia, Jefferson Koji. We'll be speaking with him, on a couple of issues. Yeah, he's not in the country, but he's following the politics. And besides our panelists, I'm sure we'll talk with him for an hour. The panelists also will be looking at, the Inspector General of the Liberia National Police today confirmed that some of his men are part of the investigation in the drug bust, the over 300 million drug busts, and they have been investigated. In fact, today, one of them was relieved of his post. And if you saw the IG address in the media, he was very furious. Not happy indeed, that his men are part of that. Also, Samuel Tuel appeared on a local station yesterday and made analysis, startling revelations of a drama in the ruling unity party. We're going to look at that. We're going to talk about that. We're going to do our own analysis. What are Samuel Tuel saying the truth or what he's not? But some of what he said, you can see signal that, he may be saying the truth. Government today launched the draft national budget. And of course, we're going to talk about that as well. And 3 of the whistleblower jurors were released from the Monrovia.
How you doing?
What's it? Okay, Moses, welcome to the program. Moses, welcome.
Yeah, thank you so much. So it's indeed a pleasure to be here with you guys. And let me say hi to my colleagues in studio. Mr. David Tagwell, it's a pleasure. Our George and Edwin are in as well. It's always a pleasure coming. Thank you for the opportunity.
Okay, thank you, Moses. And let me welcome Mr. Wion, Desmond Wion, quickly. Desmond, welcome.
Yes, good evening, and let me say good evening to our many listeners, our viewers, especially those following us on our different live fields. The Prime, FM 105.5, and that of the Nighttime Heat. I've been following. However, I've come to realize that a lot of our people normally follow the live, without also making sure that indeed they are following. However, it's great that you follow, and I would like to say, keep sharing the live. Encourage all us to follow, share the live into the many chat rooms that you are part of, so that people can have access to information. Like I always, said on this radio, is access to information. It is not a choice or an option. It is a right of every citizen to be informed. So it is part of our responsibility as journalists, communicators, communication experts, practitioners, to always come on the show to see how best we can contribute to the national discourse of our country in a very positive way. So, yes, indeed, today is a great show, and we hope for the best.
Okay, thank you very much, gentlemen. We're still trying to await the former mayor of the city of Monrovia, who I understand also, I'm sure, he should be the Secretary General of the former ruling CDC, Jefferson Koji, we're hoping that we can get him on the program very shortly. He should be on the program any moment from now. He's trying to connect, I'm sure. But in the meantime, while we still await him, Mr. Wheeler, is there anything on your mind quickly that you want to share with us?
Yeah, I mean, so I know that could be that probably would have fall, or better still, it falls on our many talking points for the night. But it is not strange that this would be as so much concerned on the minds of thousands, to some extent millions of Liberians. It is those who we expect or those who are required by law to investigate, to confront drugs-related cases are now being, to some extent, linked or allegedly, let me be clear, professionally, allegedly linked to ongoing investigation.
Okay.
So it's concerning, as part of what on my mind, as per the question, Saba, there is nothing that could be so disturbing as per the few hours shocking, announcement of a police officer.
Okay, we'll talk about that. Don't worry, that's part of our second discussion. Let's do the interview quickly with our guest, who understand should be on by now. The former mayor of the city of Monrovia, Mr. Jefferson Kogi. Mr. Kogi, welcome to the program. If you are on, let's hear you quickly.
Thank you so kindly, Saba. I'm on. Am I getting through?
Yes, you are getting through.
Okay, thank you for the opportunity to participate on this very important program.
Okay, I'm sure we'll have you for 30 to 45 minutes on the program quickly to talk about issues pertaining to Liberia. But first, what is it that Kogi is involved with now as we speak?
Interesting. Kogi is involved into self-improvement and committed to his responsibility as a political figure. So far, so good. That is what we are now as an individual.
Okay. Now, let me have it informed that I'm sure my other panelists here will want to ask you a question, but let me exhaust the one or two questions I have, and then I turn to them also. I'm sure, Mayor Kogi, you are following situation back home. But before then, there was this whole noise concerning the demolition of your party headquarters. As you speak, you are raising a new headquarters. Do you care to tell us as to the status of it now, whether you are nearing completion or whether you're still finding it difficult? And the source of funding as well.
Well, again, thank you, Saba. It is my pleasant duty to extend my fervent regard to the Liberian people in general and members of the Congress for Democratic Change in particular. Whereas you pointed out so eloquently as it relates to our illegal demolition by a heartless and irresponsible regime led by Mr. Boakai. But the CDC resilient is bigger than the irresponsibility being displayed and the callous responsibility being displayed by the Boakai and Kun regime. I want to seize this opportunity to salute the gallantry of the Liberian people, particularly the partisans, the ordinary partisans, those who reside in Bruce Quarter, Slayway, Sonnywen, West Point, who are the true martyred of the struggle of the Congress for Democratic Change, who refused to kowtow to the heartlessness of the Boycott and coup regime. They have contributed their dollar and their fastings and whatsoever it is to ensure that the CDC is not the infrastructure. The CDC is an ideal. The CDC is an ideas. And the people who are subscribed to that ideas. It's not the physical structure. So I want to say thank you to those brave and gallant men and women, partisans, paratroopers of Thematic Congress of Democratic Change, for their deep sense of commitment towards the populous people struggle, namely start the Congress for Democratic Change. I also want to use this time to also recognize the political leader, His Excellency Dr. George Weah, who have continued to demonstrate a support leadership. He did that when he had an opportunity to lead the country for 6 years. And now, as a political leader, he honored his stewardship. We are constructing a multifaceted infrastructure that will be used for conducting the activity of the Congress of Democratic Change. Honoring the able leadership of Speaker Fonanti Kova, along his committee member Nathaniel Fallow McGill, Eugene Nangwe, and His Excellency D. Mazwa Sakimaya. The name go on and on of those people who are ensuring that in record time we can say to you with our stupor that the Congress of Democratic Change will be unveiling a brand new headquarters, a second to none in the history of in the political history of our country, that a political institution we erect its own political headquarters, not owning and not leasing or neither renting, but a party, an institution, a political institution, we raise money from the ordinary partisans and go about constructing an LFA, a modern LFA that will be used as a political headquarters. So for for the information and the Liberian people, that is how far we are as a political institution.
Okay, so let me get your honest assessment.
So I'm not hearing you. I don't know. I'm not
You are getting me
you.
now? Are you hearing me? Mr. Koji, then it seems you have to
I'm not
go off.
getting you.
Then you have to go off and come back on. If you are not getting me, you have to go off and come back on.
But if it's not here, we have
Hello?
Hello. I don't know.
Wow, I think he has a problem there. But you can talk to him. But this.
So,
Go off and yes, we're trying to.
hello?
My producer is trying to call you. Okay, so you're listening to the
okay.
Nighttime Heat rated on Prime FM 105.5. Our guest here for a few minutes is the Secretary General or the former mayor of the city of Monrovia, Jefferson Koji. Is he on now? Okay, so he gone off to come back on quickly. Jefferson Koji is our guest here on the program for 35 minutes, and after which I'm sure my panelists are going to talk about also the issue regarding the police RG press conference today, or his press takeout today, where he confirmed that some of his men are also being investigated in connection with the over 300 million drug bust. Also, Samuel Tuer, made some startling revelations when he appeared yesterday on a local station about some drama within the ruling unity party. We're going to talk about that. Okay, it seems that the former mayor is back. Mayor Koji, welcome back to the program.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so kindly.
Okay. Now, I was trying to ask you about your honest assessment of the performance of this administration, an administration that defeated your government and took control of things in country. What's your honest assessment of his performance?
Yeah, okay. Thank you, Saba. I wanted to follow my response to your question. Did I lend it?
Okay. Yes, you did. You did.
Okay, wonderful. I think we have some technical glitch. I just
Yes.
want to make sure you're
Let's
technician.
sort it out now.
Okay, but what my honest opinion is that I think this is an absolute disaster. What we're witnessing here, it is a disaster. And I think people will take it out of context and think because I am a opposition person, but I got to do, this is not about politics. This is about the reality about how things are. You just need to just pose about what is currently taking place now and what has transpired. Even though I'm saying this is a current disaster in terms of leadership, I'm also not also surmising that honor our stewardship all was perfect. That is not what I'm trying to imply here. I'm just trying to say to you, if you just oppose what occurred during our time in office in terms of various sectors, and you look at it generality, you will safely say to us today that yes, indeed, take for example, see the rule of law, see what's happening. A wanton abused about the rule of law. What we see here, the rule of law is just not being abused by what you call government appointees. You see, Mr. Bwaka is leading the charge. You see, Mr. Jeremiah Cohn, who's now currently to the extent that the European ambassador have to practically call him up and say, look, you have a vice president who currently is trying to play everybody responsibility at the same time. Nobody want to know whether he is the entire, whether he is the Landsman minister, whether he is the commerce minister. It's kind of a conflicting that you as a vice president, and all of a sudden, every other thing is being run by you, is being run by you as person. So we see these things. You can also say to yourself, look, if this was just happening under the president, but no, this is happening in total acquiescence of the current president. And that's why we think it is indeed is absolute disaster when it comes to leadership.
Okay. Let me bring in Mr. Desmond. We want to ask you his question quickly.
Yeah, good evening, Mr. Jefferson Tamakoji. It's great to have you on this interview.
Yeah. Good evening, my brother. How are you?
Yeah, I'm great. So, straight to the issue. You served as mayor of the city of Monrovia, and specifically, my concern, has been drawn to the fact of the management of the PHP Park. I know there are a lot of issues to talk about, so subsequently we will come in later on. But for now, the PHP Park, which was constructed by the previous government under the leadership of former President George Weah, that park was meant to support recreational activities in terms of sports, in terms of amusements, and so forth. Today, what we are seeing at that park, there have been video footages all over the place in terms of the poor management, but the justification has been the awarding of the contract, or in other words, the park management under your leadership as a mayor of the city of Monrovia. You allegedly awarded contract to a private firm, named Green Park, if I'm not mistaken, to manage the affairs of the park, generate the revenue of the park for or projected number of years, that which I may not be very exact in terms of the figure, the number of time the contract has been assigned. So my question is in consonance to as to whether honor your leadership as a mayor. If for any reason there has been contract awarded to a private firm for the park of what they call the PHP park, are you aware, or if there has been any contract, to whom was that contract awarded to in terms of the management of that PHP park? And what are the specificities in terms of that contract being awarded to a private firm? Mr. SG.
Well, thank you. You say your name again? You see what is your name again?
I'm Desmond William. Desmond,
I don't know whether you are a journalist or you are just a panelist.
Journalist. I am a certified journalist and a full-fledged member of the President of Liberia. Been practicing journalism for the past 12 to 18 years. Yes.
And that should be reflected in the way you answer a question, if what you claim exactly who you are. But the way you place your question, you come under the weight of presentation of your question. And I think the way you say,
allegedly. Didn't you hear me? Didn't you hear me using the word allegedly?
But good friend, I'm not telling you what you said. I'm just trying to say what exactly occurred.
Go ahead.
See, you got to give me an opportunity to respond. You have the right to ask, and I have the right to respond. And that right cannot be shared with you. And I hope you do not attempt to hijack that right. Okay, then thank you so kindly. So what I'm trying to say to you is that the way you structure your question, I see it that you complain under the weight of trying to structure a question about me. I will ask you to do yourself justice, to be more investigative, go and find out exactly what you want to obtain and what you would like to understand. And with that, it's not just me as a person. You represent your view to help educate the public, things that they can. This platform is a very serious platform. It's a hard thing. And secondly, you also take your microphone to the current leadership. If anybody would think that my leadership or something that I did was unorthodox, that person has the authority, has the right to ensure me as a person I can be brought to book, and whatsoever measure can be corrected, because that's the reason why the Liberian people have given them the opportunity to right the wrong, if there were any wrong that was being orchestrated or committed by us. Is against our backdrop. So as a fan now, what you're saying, I'm not in a position to address it because it lacked structural presentation. I don't try to understand exactly what you want to gather from me. So I think you, during my leadership, was a formal turning over process, and I still remain very active, engaged in every situation. If I had anything shady deeds or excesses, but then I would be someone, shying away from the public. But because I know,
Mr.
One minute. No, 1 minute. He's still in speech, please. 1 minute. Yes, go ahead. Go ahead.
So Desmond, what I'm saying to you, Desmond, is I will encourage you to do more follow up, and you can investigate. And after your investigation, you don't have to reach to me at Desmond. You can make it public to the public. And anybody who is uncomfortable with my leadership, you can also, initiate the requisite measure to bring me to book. Thank you so kindly.
All right, Mayor, thank you. We'll go around. Let's take Taba quickly.
So, yeah. Good evening. My microphone, okay.
Yeah, it's on.
Good evening, Mayor Koji.
Yeah, good evening, my dear brother.
So this is David Tagway.
Oh. Big brother, what's up? It's been a while.
Good to hear your voice. Okay, my question is the CDC of which you are the Secretary General. I think you stay incumbent, right?
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
stay incumbent. Okay, you stay incumbent, and of which you are Secretary General, and in which you served as the mayor of Monrovia. I came to power uh, with uh, the belief that it would have won, it would serve 2 terms. Unfortunately, that did not happen. The citizens served 1 term and was defeated by the non-ruling United Party. To what extent did that disappoint you, Mr. Koji?
Well, thank you. That is a very interesting question. I think I'm not disappointed as a person. As an institution, we we are we have taken a sober reflection. And within our sober reflection, we have got to respect the Liberian people decision, and that we believe that our anticipation was to do a lot more. And apparently, for us, honor the Liberian people yardstick, we may not have met their consideration and their determination. So now we feel much more challenged to ourselves as a political institution. Thankfully, that the Unity Party, who came to bed with lies, mischieved behavior, and the Liberian people are smarter than the lies they were told, and they can see through them. So with that, we become more appreciative that the Liberian people can be able to juxtapose between what happened then and what they are currently experiencing. So with that, they can be able to make a safe determination. But as an institution, we also believe there are places, there are individuals who did not understand clearly what the revolution were for. Some of those people, we think they were excess baggages, and they were also burdened. And I think the Liberian people, and that's why when the Liberian people when they made a decision, less than 1%, His Excellency Dr. George Weah, being a respecter and a patron of peace, he did not hesitate in any given circumstances. He remained law abiding and obeyed the Liberian people. And that's why we said the last time, this democracy in which we fought for, nobody, no single individual, no group of people dare to question and to detune the democracy of the Liberian people, because the Liberian people are far sophisticated and they are bigger than people naked quest of ambition or to stay in the power. We think if you have an opportunity to lead the Liberian people, and when you fail, you must respect that, you must do that honorably. And I attempt to now do that. We want to re-emphasize that if Mr. Barker failed to do that, we can confidently say that Mr. Barker will be a citizen of the cemetery.
Okay. All right. Let's go there. Let's take your question, Mr. Edwin Family.
So let me just make this disclosure. Jeff and I go a very long way. From high school days, we established, we worked along with was it the National High School Student Union, Jeff?
Yeah, NAISU, National High School Student Union of Liberia.
Yes, when we staged those protests during the regime of former President Taylor, and were someone at the was it at the Ministry of Education? Yeah.
Yeah.
We go a very long way, but in national politics we have different ideology. But he's
partly
someone,
as edition.
No, Jeff knows that I've never been part of CDC.
No, I just kidding.
Not being engaged
Go
with.
ahead, ask your question.
But anyway, Jeff, do you have any intent of contesting elected position in the future, maybe in Monserrado or elsewhere? Because this has been, making rounds that you're eyeing the senatorial seat of Monserrado County. Just as a friend that is curious to know.
Edwin Formula. How's everything, my dear brother? Well,
I'm doing great.
Edwin, yes, yeah, like you mentioned, yes, indeed. We've been a long time friend. That's quite clear true. And during our UFO day, even though we differ politically, ideologically on the national scene, but that has to do nothing with our bond two distinguished young people and friends. Well, we have actually known me. Leadership have been my passion. I've always, when you were there, I was the president of the National High School Student Union. So I always like to give service to people. So yes, I'm currently serving in a capacity of the Secretary General of the leading opposition political party. We know a lot of our people have reached out to us and said, look, we think we want to enjoy your confidence, your service at the level of the senatorial place. And a lot of people in Lofa County asking me for similar decision. People in Monserrado asking me. But as you may be aware, I am an institutionalist. I work for the Congress of Democratic Change. And being an institutionalist currently out of the country, I have taken up a personal journey, a self-development journey, and I'm still concluding my process. Hopefully, when I shall return to the country, to the mother's land, and that we will be able to make that determination. But at the Islam, we haven't made no personal decision on that, and that decision will be made in concert with the party in which we serve, the Congress of Democratic Change.
All right, thank you, Mr. Mayor. Let's go to Mr. Moses Sandy, our diaspora panelist, to ask you his question. Mr. Sandy, you can go ahead.
Yeah, Mayor Koji, it's a pleasure to talk to you. I've read about you. I've not had no personal contact with you, but I did follow your work and follow the work of the CDC for the last 6 years. I have two questions for you. The first question is former President Weah going to recontest in 2029? Will he be a candidate for the presidency?
You want to post the two questions, then I just respond to that, or you want me to respond at one?
Okay, I just wanted the first yes or no, then
Okay.
I'll follow up with my next question. Yeah.
I can say this to you without stupor, that President Weah have the intention to come and complete the unfinished promise of the Liberian people. And that the Congress of Democratic Change, having he as a person, as I can say to you, that he has confided in me, he going to run, he want to run, and he have decided to run. But as an institution, have we decided on him as a person? The CDC of Democratic Institution, we haven't decided on no one. But Mr. Weah as a person have expressed the desire, and he's working towards that. As I speak to you, he's currently in the US. He will be attending the CDC US convention, and he is working, he's networking. But as an institution, we are working with a broad-based people and Liberian people and Senate, and we get together, and the CDC will make an institutional determination. But Mr. Weah, as a person, I can say to you, as a leader of our movement, he will be on the ballot. He have intimated the desire to come back and complete an unfinished promise with the Liberian people.
Moses, a second question.
Thank you, Mayor Koji. Thank you so much for the information provided. Now, let me take you to my second question, Mayor. It is interesting to hear this, and let's look at the former president. Mr. Weah ran Liberia for 6 years. His performance, many critics of the Weah administration, including me, view his performance for the last 6 years as dismal, meaning he underperformed. His performance was extremely poor. He came across as disengaged. He was aloof. He was not in charge of anything. Under him, Liberia, its leadership was referred to as an autocracy, meaning a government of thieves. Under his leadership, officials of his government topped the U.S. sanction list for acts of dishonesty, and you are one of those listed. Now, were all of these pitfalls, what do you think George Weah has to offer Liberia? Tell us.
Mayor Koji?
Mayor, are you there?
Someone, he left the line?
Oh, the mayor is on. He asked his question. You didn't get him?
I'm not hearing you.
All right, then you have to go off and come back on, please.
So let me say that
Well,
again.
can you again?
Mayor, no, Mayor, are you hearing me now? Are you hearing me, Mayor?
I think
we're having communication problem.
Okay, I think he's going off to come back on. You're listening to the Nighttime Heat. Kindly share the show. Our guest here tonight is former mayor of the city of Monrovia, Jefferson Koji, who's also the Secretary General of the Congress for Democratic Change. He's our guest here for 30 to 35 minutes, on the show. After which my panelists now going to talk about a couple of things. Okay, he's back on. Mayor, welcome back to the program.
Yeah, but Desmond Inflat has Desmond concluded.
So Mayor, Sunny. Yeah, so Mayor, let me ask you a second question. Do you hear me?
Yeah, you heard very well. You said he were on, his government was involved with sanctions, massive on sanctions. That's what I heard.
I can restate it for the sake of clarity.
You can please do.
All right. So, Mayor, I'm saying to you, many critics of the Weah administration, including myself, hold a view that Mr. Weah, 6 years of service, he performed poorly. He was disengaged. He was aloof. He came across as a stooge. He was never in charge of anything. He made Nathaniel McGill the de facto president of Liberia. Under his leadership, his leadership was referred to as an autocracy by a congressman of the United States. Under his leadership, public officials, including you, became the highest on U.S. sanction list for reported acts of dishonesty. Auditors went missing. Rule of law was dismal. A return to George Weah quest to return to power in 2029. What do you think he's going to bring? What does he stand to bring to Liberia after 6 years of poor performance? What does he stand to bring?
Okay, Sandy, can I respond now?
Absolutely, sir. Absolutely, sir. Thank you.
Okay, Sandy, thank you also. And I think we must come to this conversation with honesty. That's the first thing we should do. Not just one honesty. We should also elevate this conversation. You, as a panelist on this very important, sacred platform, you must be asking for repentance, because some of you people were the false prophecy, doom preacher who deceived the Liberian people. You ran to Charleston here with no statistical evidence to indicate the same lies you told yesterday. And you think the Liberian people will take that seriously? Yesterday, yes, you said auditor got murdered, and you are a panelist. Some of the reason why people came to, people were able to be, they were able to be voted for. And today, embarrassingly, a person like you sit in a free war cannot be truthful, whether you are a Christian or not. I mean nothing. To say, why is it that you cannot have the moral question about how these people came to power? Today, not a single person is being prosecuted about, quote unquote, the murder of auditors. But you understand, you found comfort in talking loosely. And you think the Liberian people so dumb they will take you seriously only because you have an opportunity to sit in America, and you think that will fly with the Liberian people? It's shockingly unfortunate. People like you should not be part of our conversation. We should sanitize our conversation for people like you, because this country, it should not be based, it should be data driven. You must say to us here tonight, what are some of those statisticals, desperate performance that occurred and the changes that are taking place tonight? You can't say that. The same normal ranking that people say, Jefferson Coach is a murderer, Jefferson Coach is a criminal, Jefferson Coach is excellent. People leverage their relationship with foreign individuals. On the basis of that, today, our country suffers. Do you want to see who is a stooge, a puppet president? The president you advocate for Mr. Bwaka, is wrong. The country is in free fall. See what is happening in our country. When people like you said drugs have taken over our country, you said on the panelists today, you cannot say that what is taking place in our country. So Sandy, we are Liberians, we must do ourselves justice. We must be honest to ourselves, to our kids, to our associates. There are things that we were labored for years. And now, I've said before you today, I was being presented as a monster. But today, the facts are being known. I said, I traveled from Monrovia. A lot of people said, you think Koji is being sanctioned because he was in Florida, he was a child soldier. I left, I went to UK, went to school there. I left from there, I came to Israel. I'm still on a US sanction. It doesn't speak volume to you. You think the international community doesn't know? You think the facts? But I will say to you as a privileged information, the surprise will hit the country very soon. But people like us, we're not bothered about what people say. 2 days ago, somebody called me and asked me and said, look, Mr. Koji, what do you make of the current mayor? What is happening with him? I said, well, I wish him well. The Liberian people are not stupid people. They are smart people. They will begin to do the determination. A young man who presided over the affairs of our city, and quote unquote, the sophisticated people who were bullied in our country were uneducated. Only because apparently my name is Tama, or because I was born and raised in a village and we do not fit in certain category. Apparently I was raised in West Point. That's been my offense. That is the abomination. I should not be closer. I should not be seen as the chief administrator of the capital city of Liberia. Whenever people saw me, instead of dealing with the issue, they said he was looking wearing bow tie. What does wearing bow tie have to do with cleaning a city? I'm telling you, That's sheer hypocrisy. When people cannot stand us, and you think your opinion can confine us, you can't confine us. Because
Okay,
we were different, we reach
Mr.
this
Mayor,
My
point.
lord,
I think it's
Saba,
sufficient. Look, Moses, 1 minute. 1 minute, Moses.
yes, sir.
Mr. Mayor, I
Okay.
think you sufficiently responded to that question. Let's
Thank
take
you.
another
Okay,
batch
all
of
right,
questions,
thank you.
and then we can take a leave of you. Let's take another batch of questions.
Yes,
let-
sir.
let- no, Moses, no, we're going around the table, please. We'll come back to you.
Okay, go around, yeah.
So, Mr. Mayor, let me ask my question. You have two of your top officials, two of your executives, two of the stalwarts of the CDC. I'm making reference to former Finance Minister Samuel Tue and Finda Bondo, undergoing trial for acts allegedly unbecoming. What's your reaction? But first, let me just give you, and which I know you're quite aware, Finda has been released from prison based on a bond file. I understand, and besides, Samuel Tue was initially judged not guilty, but there's a court's decision for retrial of his case. What's your reaction to all of this?
Well, initially, when Mr. Bwaka came the leadership, we thought they were serious-minded people, and they should have taken the Liberian job very seriously. Unfortunately, they governed themselves like they came through a coup d'etat, where they allowed anger to have taken over their intelligence. And that's the reason we, as a former ruling party, we left the country honorably with dignity. Nowhere so easily. It was a very narrow margin, less than 1%. And people thought we should not have done that. But our loss for the Liberian people, a far, precipitated our ambition to govern the country. So we allowed our people to submit themselves. Unfortunately, Mr. Bwaka and Kondi are total disrespecter of the rule of law. We can say this to you with us stupor categorically. Samuel D. Tue is a free man, and the CDC will jealously protect him. If anyone dared to try to return our country to the years of old, we can say to you, the CDC will not hesitate with a stiff resistance, democratic stiff resistance. We do that. Finda Bondo, we think whatever they want to do, we encourage Finda Bondo. We think Finda Bondo can cooperate with them. They can go in. And what is it? Finda Bondo can face them. As a law-abiding institution, the fact that the verdict of the juror and our democratic system has spoken eloquently and loudly, the CDC stand with Samuel Tue. And the CDC, as we speak to you now, and subsequently, we will be taking measures to communicate to our international partners, asking and demonstrating that the democracy of our country is at the verge of collapse under the leadership of Mr. Bwaka.
Okay, so my final decision, before I can go to my colleagues, you spoke very strongly when it came to Samuel Tue. You said your party will jealously protect him. But when it came to Finda Bondo, you dropped your tune and you said, well, she can cooperate. So it means that apparently Finda Bondo is not of essence anymore to the coalition than Samuel Tue.
Absolutely, I've been missed, George, and been missed view per my comments. The reason I was very forceful when it came to Simon Twere, because his process was adjudicated and he was deemed a free man to the constitution of our country. As for Fina Bono, it's an ongoing process. We do not want to come across that we're trying to shield people from the rule of law. That is not us. We got zero intention to do that. If we could turn a whole country over, what's about line an individual to facing his crime? As an institution, we support that. And that's why each and every one who were called to, who they call and say they were prosecuting them, we never one day interpose any objection. We didn't do that. So for Madam Fina Bono, she stayed, by a matter of fact, she's the first female, she's the first chair lady of our party. She enjoyed the confidence of the institution. What we think people were saying here, she been misjudged, been misunderstood. The Congress of Democratic Change has no differences with Madam Fina Bono. All I'm saying here tonight, that while she going through a process, she remain law and abiding until the verdict of the court can come out. Anything
Okay.
falling short of that, she enjoyed our support.
Okay, let me swap it around this time
Yeah.
around. Edwin,
So-
let's hear you.
Yeah, so Jeff, let me once again say a very big thank you for taking such a bold step to self-develop yourself. I think that's what all of us as young people should be doing, irrespective of where we find ourselves. But my question to you is that is the CDC in a way deterred by the leaving of Thomas Fowler and Sir Joseph? And are there any plan as to how you're going to close that gap? Because irrespective of how we see it, those were two heavyweights in your political party. Are you in any way deterred that this could have some kind of trouble for you come 2029?
Well, the CDC is a democratic institution, and people willingly join the CDC, and people willingly decide to leave the CDC. And that is not something the CDC lose sleep over. The CDC respect people's personal decision. The CDC appreciate people's decision whether to join it or whether to leave. And the CDC also, after, even person like you, Edwin, I'm interested in recruiting you to the CDC. I'm requesting your opinion. And so that's how the game is. You lose some, you gain some. Well, as people leaving, we go after. I see, before I came on the panel list, I saw a lot of names. And you can rest assured, a lot of you people, I will try to reach out to you individually to see how you can be a member of the Congress of Democratic Change. We are looking for the best among the brightest. We want to have, there are things we felt, I'll be honest with you, there are ways we govern the country in certain instances. We think we now we want to have a more participatory government. It's not just about CDC coming back to power and you talk about everybody got to be CDC. No. You got to have other people. They may not necessarily be the firebrand Jefferson Koji or the Eugene Langway. There could be people that have certain skills that the country can leverage. It is the mentality that we have realized. We think the country is being driven towards a partisanship for a very long period of time. We think the country, for us to change our country, we must be thinking about more where we have a more patriotism and nationalistic approach. If a person can get towards that.
Okay, thank you, Mayor. David, let's hear you quickly.
Yeah, so Major Kochi, we have more than 3 years to go through the 2029 elections. And now I heard you say, this may not be your exact words, that if President Walker plays with the pending elections in 2029, the graveyard would be his residence. What does that mean? And the other question is,
No, only one question.
no, wait, now that the same question. I just want to, what does that mean? With the many years to go to the elections, what are you sensing? Because from how you sounded, uh, it implies that you suspecting, uh, a dishonest process in 2029. If that is the case, what are the indicators? What's giving you such an impression?
Thank you, big brother. Quite frankly, if you have a leadership that is totally unbothered and the country is degenerating into a narco state, you got to be concerned that the fact that you have a police director and an IG who goes about recruiting armed robbers and putting police uniform on them, and you come to realize the same people who were dismissed from the police for armed robbery, and today you put police uniform on them, and you use taxpayer money, and that's why I was speaking to my brother who he was asking about, who Mr. Parker is not in charge. He's totally not in charge. Do you want to know who's in charge? Alexa Gregory Coleman in charge. Kofi who's in charge. These are people that are leading our country to the downward trend. So we are concerned about that. The Liberian people are concerned about that. And the best thing Mr. Boaka can do, not only Mr. Boaka, nobody. If Mr. Weah is considered one of the most popular Liberian ever in the history of our country, not even in Liberia, even in Africa and around the world, if he could be so respectful and honorably take over leadership, you talk about Mr. Boakan and the Unity Party, the Liberian people are resolved. We will just come and debate here. We will never return to war. We will bring arms when the Unity Party use arms in 1985 and 1990 and kill people here. 250 of our matter lie beneath this ground. Their blood was spilled for this democracy. This democracy will not be compromised.
I think you answered your question now. You answered the question, Mayor Koji. Let's go to Moses quickly. Moses Sandy, our diaspora panelist.
Thank you so much. I do not have a question for Mayor Koji, but I just want to push back. The mayor spoke loosely. His thoughts came across as incoherent. He did not speak to the issue. He opted to be personal. He's talking about data. But this is the same mayor that is telling us that Gregor Coleman recruited armed robbers. Where did he get that data from?
I can provide
Now, let me point. Koji, let me point to some of the data you're talking about here. I did not say auditors were murdered. I did say that auditors died under what? Shady condition. Isn't that true?
You asked me to respond.
Yeah, I'm being rhetorical. So let me put this one again. A congressman in the United States from New Jersey, did he not refer to the Weah administration as a kleptocracy, a government of thieves? Did your government ever rebuke that statement? Are you not currently on U.S. sanction list? Is Natana Magena on U.S. sanction list? Is Samuel Tuena on U.S. sanction list for acts of dishonesty? Are they not data? All these things I'm making reference to, are they not data? I ask you a specific question. What does George Weah has to offer like in 2029? And you fail to answer because you just can't defend it. Thank you.
So, Sandy, you see, you can't be accusing me of something and you be guilty as charged. You can, and you say, oh, I'm angry, and you're there screaming as well. Let me say to you, Sandy, you talk about the data, I will respond to you quickly. And I said, Johnny Bola Dean, the current RFO, in 2015, he was this, go and check the record. in 2015, he was dismissed for armed robbery. Johnny Boladin, what did Gregory do? Gregory hired him. Today, he's been dismissed. He been dismissed because he received bribe, 10,000 United States dollars. Am I there, Sobo?
Yes, you are. Go ahead, you're clear. Mr. Mayor, I think you have to go off and it's off. Okay, I think it's off. Gentlemen, we'll shortly have to take leave of the mayor. Just I'm sure in 5-10 minutes, we'll have to allow the mayor to go. He just went off again. Okay, he's back on. Mayor, you were in speech.
So I was just trying to give Sandy. I was telling about Johnny Dane. In 2015, he was dismissed for armed robbery. You can check that. That's a data. And again, I've been told he's been dismissed again just today because he was involved in receiving bribe from the cocaine dealers. So you talk about being a sanction. It is the same mist and disinformation. Check what sanction is. Sanction is not an indictment. It's a political tool. Even the U.S. people who say they indict you, they put you on sanction. They say to you, they receive information, but they claim to be credible information, but they are not facts. But it left for you to disprove that. And today you're right, you can use it on us because some of us, we were not privileged. That we now today, where people have their friends in Washington, D.C., they were lobbying with their friends. And they could use our name, they could form this and misinformation on our character. And those things could fly by. And today they come back home haunting us. But that is not the end about us. Some of you thought that putting on censure was the evidence. But yes, the only thing I'm trying to tell you, you asking me what Mr. We are coming to do. I'm saying, first of all, muster the moral rectitude to seek repentance about things you said before and what is occurring on the current regime. That's how we begin. And you say, oh, the man angry? I seek no apologies for that. I'm not an angry person. I'm just trying to have a very frank and a Buddha, a very frank Buddha conversation. And
Okay.
you see that. No, somebody, let me just land on this. Let me just land. You see somebody recently let him talk. You see somebody, you know, when a man make him to break silence here. You call me on coach, you can talk. You see, I left that country, I want to talk. I said, I'm myself. Because we're not, people like us, our nature is not to back down. And that's how people think they get offended about us. They get offended. You come here tonight and you demonstrate insincerity, and you think people should not tell you what you square it for sure. But brother, yeah, it's the plan. We are going to come back, and there are stuff that we are he as a person. He's a very, very honest human being who have done his super reflection and saw some things. He doesn't claim no perfection. But the Liberian people who were deceived, who are victims of some of the malicious lies told by people like you, those Liberian people will rise up to the challenge and give Mr. Weir an opportunity. Thank you so kindly for the opportunity, and my pleasure. And I want to say to you, thank you all of you. I'm going to follow you, and we try to reach out to all of you. Sunday, I'll reach out to you. I need you to join the CPC, all of you people. I will get to you to talk to you very soon. Edwin, my brother, thank you so kindly. My pleasure for the opportunity.
Thank you. No, thank you, Romeo. Thank you. Thank you, Romeo. No, we got a couple of things to talk. No, I mean we've done an interview in time, gentlemen. We're not going to go beyond.
That is unfair.
We're not going to go beyond. You had your time.
No, that is unfair.
Is the mayor still on?
No, that is
okay.
That is
you
unfair.
had your time. You were just
Someone,
no.
Someone, I disagree with you. But today,
all right, gentlemen, please
let's do
our takeaway quickly. Let's do our takeaway.
I know that.
Please, 1 minute, please, man.
Mr. Formula Champ is working.
Let's do our takeaway quickly so that we can go into the next discussion. That was the Secretary General of the CDC, and former mayor of the city of Monrovia, Jefferson Koji. Let's hear from you, Dave Tabo.
Yeah, the first thing I hope, how many minutes do I have?
No, you got just a minute, please.
No, a minute is short. There are a lot of things.
Just a minute, man.
Okay,
David.
But the first thing, look,
You're always combative.
No, there are a lot of things Major Koji said that we need to speak on. The first thing is that he said the CDC's headquarters was illegally demolished. That isn't true. That matter went to court, and the court looked into the matter and rendered the CDC guilty. That's how the owner of that property took over and maybe ordered the demolition. So that matter went to court. The other thing here is that he said people joined the CDC and they leave. That was in reference to Thomas Fowler and Sir Joseph. They were expelled. They didn't leave by themselves. Lastly, Sabo, he said the Unity Party came to power on the basis of lies. That is not also true. The Unity Party campaigned on several things that it would have fought corruption. It wouldn't have encouraged a culture of impunity. It would have fought corruption. The Unity Party is fighting corruption today. People are in court. People are facing prosecution. The other thing is that the Unity Party would have built rules to connect the entire country to the capital city and other cities across the world. We are seeing that happening. Is that lie? The Unity Party said it would have held people accountable, even its own officials. That is happening.
Okay, let me hold you there now. Let me hold you there.
So you call that lies? Thank you for that.
Let's hear you, Desmond. You don't seem to be involved with this.
I'm spirited, but I've been denied of the opportunity.
No, you don't go over all. Nobody knows why it's happening to you.
No,
please, 1 minute.
So great. Because they were spoke for 3 minutes.
No, 1 minute, please.
I was checking.
That's not law.
So I'm saying what the former mayor said. I mean, he spoke a lot of different things, and precisely that is the reason why I at some point in time I got front of you, because I want to ask him some of the hard questions. And some of the hard questions are: city, we've now been told that WIA is coming back, but there have been conversations about who is likely to be WIA's running mate. We saw that we are designated, the former president designated Alexander Benedict Collins, the political leader of ANC, who want to speak on the anniversary celebration of CDC. Could that be a positive enrichment or political enrichment for ANC, political leader of the world as far as running mate we are? These are some of the questions that were about coming to ask the Secretary General, because the Secretary General is the chief administrator of the party. I'm a student of corporate administration. I know that. Anybody who is a SG, they are the chief architect. In fact, they are the chief administrator of that institution. So these are some of the basic questions about.
Okay.
However, someone
he said, "You're not organized now." The guy just go off. Why somebody to you?
So
more than 3 times the way outside, man.
So
all right, let me hold you there. No, we got this control. Please.
Someone always getting on a theories. They got on rhetorics.
Someone
always break you.
Jeff is a politician, and Jeff actually threw my brother off guard.
That's the fact.
Yeah. So that has some level of effect on him. But however it is, I've been knowing Jeff for a very long time. Okay. And I know what he stands for. But again, he's into politics. You don't expect him to praise the current leadership when he's fighting for his party to come back. Mm-hmm. But for those of us who know him, that's why under the 6 years when people were saying things about him, some of us just sat and just smile. If he stands for something, he stands for it, irrespective of whether he gain or he lose. I saw that young man stood in this country when this little girl was murdered in Jotrupa, he stood, even with all of the challenges, he stood his ground until justice was served. So, and that's why I say I'm glad that he has taken upon himself, himself to advance himself. And I would just encourage him to just play his part, watch the political scene, do what he can do, watch his back as a young man. But I do not see him, coming as being angry or so. No. What he's saying, he's actually agitating so that the Liberian people can start looking that way
Surely.
for a comeback.
Okay, let's hear you, Moses, quickly. So we can transition.
Look, quickly, quickly, this is my takeaway. The breaking story is that the Secretary General was able to confirm that Mr. Weah will be a candidate in 2029. So let me thank you for that. But he tried to do a comparison between the two administrations, the CDC of the last 6 years and the current Barker administration. Many of you on this show here know that I'm a critical voice. And most of the things happening to this Liberia, I have condemned the Barker administration. But in terms of leadership, in terms of productivity, the two administrations are not comparable. You have a former president who was fixated on entertainment, and you have an 81-year-old man who is absolutely in charge, running a government that is producing. There are challenges in the Barker administration, but you cannot compare those challenges to the last 6 years. I asked the man, what does George Weah has to offer Liberia in 2029? He couldn't answer because it was indefensible. Weah 6 years was a failure, complete failure. The government
Just a point of information. It's very disheartening for Moses Sandy, who is a special health expert, to speak the way the way he spoke. It's sad. There is no way you want to draw someone in political administration, especially political science. There is something they call comprehensive contextual political analysis. That is when you draw the analysis between two governments, you must balance it by historical evidence.
Correct.
And the historical evidence in political science is called the raw material. So what I'm saying here is that Sunday cannot be too dismissive that the entire 6 years of the previous administration were of no essence.
Okay.
So there is someone permit me. There is a 6 years of the previous administration that brought in the Emory Hospital, first of all, in the Western region, the biggest referral hospital in the Western region of our country. It came into the country under the administration of the mayor who he claims in his description was a thief. There is the same man under his administration, first of a kind, for the military, the AFL, the Armed Forces of Liberia, to have for the first of a time in record time or record history to have a military hospital. That was done. So I'm not going to sound like a CDC or to sound like a PR for CDC, but these are evidences. These are facts.
Okay, let me.
So we're speaking as journalists, and we're speaking as journalists. So it's been very disingenuous on the part of Moses Sunny. I think you're dropping the ball.
Gentlemen, 1 minute. Let's take Mr. George Kennedy. George Kennedy gets
yes, so I need to clarify something.
1 minute, Moses. 1 minute. Let's try to hear from George Kennedy quickly. George is in studio. Yes, join us. George, let's hear you.
I just want to say good evening to you people, my co-panelists, and to the Liberian people. And good morning, good afternoon to all our listeners in the radio and internet world. We want to say thank you. I've been following the show. I've been calling sometimes, but unfortunately I couldn't go through. Albeit, I see tonight that the real colors of people are shown. The Secretary General of the CDC spoke as a politician. If I'm to grade what he said, I would grade 99.9% of what he said to be fallacy composition. The truth is, if you listen to Mr. Fambule try to speak about the political vigor of the Secretary General, but I don't think you really know Mr. Koji, who happened to be my uncle also. The records are very, very dismal when it comes to what the SG did while serving as mayor of the city of Monrovia. And those are some of the records that got him left the country. He's afraid to come back. A lot of people got hurt. Let's not take it for a joke. A lot of people, a lot of things happen in this country. Lots and lots of people, they're just trying to hide under the canopy of, well, what guy, this, how will you come on the show tonight? You say, if anything happens in 2029 that goes against you, the person, you go to the grave. That's direct threat. You guys try to overlook. He tried to baffle around it. It's wrong. We know your history, Mr. Koji, with a lot of militants in this country, but let me tell you, the Liberian people are not afraid. This is democratic society. The vague threat not going to put fear into people. Lots of people were here. They saw what happened during the crisis. They decided not to take part. But this time, look, nobody can bring conflict here. You don't have anything, any influence anywhere internationally, locally to bring confusion in this country.
Okay.
If Minister Tue, former Minister Tue, you were just speaking randomly. This is legal issue. You say that CDC will protect Minister Tue with the blood trying to threaten as the same rhetoric will be hearing from the people. Those rhetorics not going to. I said yesterday on the show that one Minister Tue is invited, you're going to walk to the court.
Okay, thank you, Georgie. Thank you. I think you gave your takeaway, George. Thank you. We don't have time. We have to discuss other issues. We have to transition quickly. You listen to the Nighttime Heat, directed on Prime FM 105.5. We are streaming live on our Facebook and our YouTube channel. This platform is for everybody. We've been extending invites to a couple of individuals, especially people in government, but maybe they see this platform as untied, and so they don't come. You ask them to come. The chairman of the Unity Party, we've called him on several occasions, and this is a country Liberia, and that's the reason why sometimes people say the country is degenerating, and that's it. Let's try to appreciate one another. Yeah. When we call you on this program, come. In fact, before even Koji could come on the program, I even sent a text to the deputy minister of information for press and public affairs, right? I said, look, listen to the program. Maybe you can come and provide some clarity or counter, and nobody. But let's move on, gentlemen. Today,
before you move on, Mr. William made mention of me. I think I need to push back a little bit on that because you spoke the man spoke loosely, and Mr. William, many of you know me. I have said it repeatedly. I hold no allegiance to any political party. When I speak my mind. Do the comparison here. Briefly, 2 administrations, 6 years, and a little over 3 years now, or almost 3 years now. Do the comparison of the 2 administrations. Who is leading? Who did not lead? You made reference to a hospital in Bapolu and the military hospital. I mean, that's minute. When you compare a Joseph Walker to somebody who left the country for almost 2 years for leisure, is that leadership? So have you forgotten about the mop-up money, the $25 million taken from the public coffers?
So, gentlemen, we have to transition.
Thank you.
1 minute, Moses. We'll find time
Yeah.
to do that
We will
comparison
do that.
analysis.
Yes,
you know,
seriously.
we'll do
just
that.
told
You know, but gentlemen, let's try to listen to the 1 minute. 1 minute. Let's listen to the Inspector General quickly. He addressed the press today.
Well, the one thing I ask you all, the one thing I ask you all is to continue to just report the truth. And pick up something, verify it. We're here always open and ready to tell you what the details are. And for each and every one of you that continue to support this investigation, for the death of us, we say thank you, because every time we need something out there, you're there running to be able to bring the story. I ask that you all break from that mindset that if it beats, it beats. Let it be based on truth. Let it be based on good evidence and good evidence only. And I want to share something with you all right now that we have just uncovered. In this investigation, the integrity of this institution, government, which all of us, it's our government, the people of Liberia, the integrity of this government rests heavily on it. So anyone who does anything to compromise this investigation will answer to the law and face the full weight, regardless of whoever you are, where you are assigned, and whatever your responsibilities and roles are in law enforcement. As such, with this ongoing investigation, we just discovered that those who we have arrested here, there were officers here within the police, apart from those who are being, who got all their names out there connected to this investigation. Today, we also investigated, we also found out more senior officers who became compromised in this investigation, not in the whole drug saga itself, but in the investigation, to provide some comfort for those who are being arrested and brought here. He has admitted to receiving $10,000, and as such, 106 Johnny Dean is relieved of his post with immediate effect. He has been turned over to the professional standards, interdicted, will be investigated subsequently. If he's found guilty, if he's found culpable and charged, he will be part of the court as well. In that case, we have also instructed that the 111, the Deputy Commissioner for Intelligence, Interpol, and Criminal Investigation, to step up immediately and take his place. There's all police officers, all law enforcement officers who are part of this investigation. There's a clear warning to each and every one of you. Nobody will have behind your offices here and try to do anything unethical, but I will bring this government to public disrepute. There's the people's police, it's the people's government. We stand ready, we stand prepared to make sure that we follow this thing wherever the evidence leads. And I can say this to the Liberian people, the chips will fall where they may. This investigation continues. Anyone connected will be subsequently arrested and prosecuted in accordance with the law. Thank you. One question, man.
Okay, gentlemen, that's the Inspector General of the Liberia National Police. Before he came out, before he came up today, there were, media reports naming some individuals of the LMP. In fact, we heard the name of one, Anthony T. Blay. In fact, there are a couple of documents trending. His family members are in fact asking people to allow due process and not to tarnish his reputation. But like the IG said, that there are some of his men who are currently being investigated in connection with this whole over 300 million drug bust investigation, drug bust. What are you reading, Mr. Weir? Listen to the IG today.
So, but this is clear, right? Professional as a journalist, I believed, and I do want to also agree that a lot of our citizens will also concord that fact that when a matter is being turned over to the National Joint Security, it means everything. I mean, everything about that investigations. There is one source, absolutely one source of communication. And that source is the head of the Joint Security. And that person is no other person but the Attorney General, who is the Minister of Justice of the Republic of Liberia. Today, what I saw from the IG, I saw contradictions. In fact, I saw undermining. There is no way joint security investigation is ongoing, and the Minister of Justice, who is the Attorney General of the Republic of Liberia, who is the chief supervisor, or better say supervisor of the entire investigation, will be left at the back. Instead, you see a police inspector general announcing members of this of his detail, members of LMP, being to some extent involved into.
Let me ask you, what is wrong with that? He heads the police.
Good.
And he's part also of the investigation. Is it wrong to have come up to say few of my men are being also being investigated? What is the wrong in that? Yeah.
It is categorically wrong.
So who should have announced it?
The Attorney General of the Republic of Liberia. If that has been
who has been meeting the press and providing updates for the joint security team since the whole drug bust?
As far as we're concerned, there has only been 2 separate occasions on which the IG spoke regarding the related drugs bust, the 19 million and the 317
so
million.
If he spoke, if he spoke on 2 occasions, what is wrong with his press takeout today to announce that, look, one of my men, in fact, has been relieved of his position because he has admitted, besides we got a few of our men who are also being investigated. What is wrong with that?
So, on a criminal investigation, there is a pattern. There is a pattern. And under that pattern, there is a chain of information flowing. The minister, the inspector general of the LMP, the very first time he ever spoke about this just issue, it was when he was summoned by the Senate. That was when he spoke. Even when he spoke, did he really talk about more specificities? No. He spoke on surface. And the second time he spoke about the drugs related issue, it was when the 317 million drugs burst that was carried out.
Mr. Wion,
yes.
I asked you the question. Since the whole drug bust, what are 19 million? What are over 300 million? Who has been providing updates to the Liberian people?
When you say who has been providing update, then there are 2 persons that will be referencing because the Minister of Justice has been providing updates.
No, let me hold you there. Let me hold you there.
Please. I beg your pardon. I beg your pardon.
No, 1 minute.
Let me conclude.
I'm the leader.
So I respect the fact that you are the host.
1 minute.
I'm asking, 1 minute. That is why I'm humbly appealing that I beg your pardon. Just give me a few seconds. Let me conclude my thoughts.
No,
it is very disingenuous for a panelist to be hijacked. You know that,
Mr. Wion.
It's not a good
issue
thing.
Is the issue you are raising against the police inspector general has absolutely no substance.
Okay, so if you say no substance,
come on, 1 minute.
All right.
Because the RG has been the one who has been speaking to the media.
For how long?
Do you know
how many times?
1 minute, come on, 1 minute. Do you know that the Minister of Justice is always out of the country? Do you know that?
The man has spoken about it.
No. Please. I'll come back to you. Please.
You cannot publicly disrespect me like this.
No, I'm not.
That is what you're doing, Sobo.
1 minute.
The IG has no, please.
I mean, you have to.
That is unfair. No, that is unfair.
No,
it's unfair.
Dave, let's hear you.
The young man, I only spoken 2 times about the entire investigation. Then he said he has been the one speaking.
He has been the one speaking.
For how long? 2 times at the Senate, and just at the time the 317 million job was made, he had an abrupt interview with the press.
Please organize yourself. 1 minute. Dave, let's hear
you. This is unfair. Absolutely.
Have you put on your man under control now?
He's under control.
Okay, so.
Yeah, man.
The first thing is that yes, a Wion who has always anytime you ready to talk, he will always mention that as a journalist. Look,
I am not bragging.
No. All the time you have to mention that you are a journalist.
Yeah, because I am a duly
Please, my man, the man is speaking.
satisfied.
Yeah.
Please, Mr. Leon.
Trained.
And so,
Journalist.
so
The man is
people
speaking.
people respect a lot of you and other us who are journalists. You know, you don't have to tell people, but how you handle issues will tell your story as a journalist, most especially because you're an investigative journalist. Look, the first thing the IG, the Inspector General of the Liberia National Police, whatever concerns security that he speaks about, he does that in collaboration with the Justice Minister. Sometimes consults the Justice Minister, or they have these compared notes. And so some of the things he can always say, I mean, is with the approval or acquiescence of the Justice Minister. There's no way you can say that he is usurping the function of the Minister of Justice. You haven't heard about any misunderstanding or controversy between the police director and the Justice Minister because of their your thinking about the usurpation of function. The first thing the police inspector general is telling you that the Liberian National Police is not taken lightly some of his men who have allowed themselves to be manipulated. Like in the case of the Dinga we're talking about. He's the deputy chief of police. He has taken bribe and admitted that he took bribe of 10,000 United dollars. He has been reprimanded and even dismissed. He lost a job today. That is a precedence. That is a signal to others that the Liberian National Police, the authorities of the Liberian National Police, said about Inspector General Gregory Coleman. I mean, they're not playing fun there. They are trying to instill discipline in men. You know how many men saying Gregory Coleman came to power as head of the police? You know how many police officers have been dismissed or suspended? There's so many. And that's how the leader should act to serve, to set precedents so that others can be deterred from doing that. And you sit here and you say, he is usurping function. I think this time around, Sabo, we have to hire somebody when we come in the studio to test our alcohol and drug. Because
Somebody you said, yeah, you laugh. Somebody you are laughing anyways.
No. I'm still talking. We have to call
Okay, let me
somebody
hold you,
else
please. Let me hold
to
you.
test us.
Ed, let's hear you.
Now I'm beginning to believe that the 26th is actually around the corner.
Yeah.
You know. But however, let me say this. Just to provide an education. You see,
That's interesting.
and you are right. In this kind of a situation, often it is the arresting authority that actually speak to the public,
Surely.
not the Minister of Justice. Whenever you hear the Minister of Justice speaking, it means that this is something very grave, that he's been instructed by his boss, who is the president, to say, okay, you have to now speak because this has to do with the indictment of people and so forth. Please, Chief, please. You have not read any document that tells you that in joint
that's
security
why I
operation,
speak
it is
up.
a chief. Nobody,
Please, the
no,
man is speaking, please.
no.
No,
Who's speaking?
just speaking
No,
opinion.
please, Chief.
My man.
Please, you spoke. I didn't speak.
Go ahead.
Try to control yourself, please. No, you don't do that. No, don't do that.
The man is
Yeah, don't
speaking.
do
You gotta
that.
stop being snappy here, please.
Yeah,
Be
don't do
quiet,
that. You
quiet.
know, with what happened today, it is an officer of the LMP that was actually involved in an act that was considered illegal, that was considered unprofessional. The person that has the authority to make such a pronouncement is his immediate boss. And like he said, this is a high-ranking officer of the police, whom himself admitted that he took money. And like he was very clear that this guy is not involved with the whole drug saga, but he's involved with taking money to give comfort to some of the people that we brought in. So why do you have to say that Ministry of Justice have to come to announce it, to say XYZ? You see, people need to follow what happens around the world. Don't just sit in your little corner and think that because you see everything happen here. Go to countries around the world. When these kind of events are taken, who gave the updates? You hear the FBI speaking. All right. You will hear maybe a homeland will come and speak. You will hear this and that. You don't see the Attorney General of the US coming to speak, because when the people speak, they are authority. The only person within the executive that has the authority to disagree with the president is the Attorney General.
Sure, let me hold you there. Moses, let's hear you. You listen to the police IG.
Yes, I listened to the police RG, and I listened to Mr. Williams and the analysis from my brother Family. Let me just say something quickly. I heard Mr. Family say that in situations like this, the Attorney General, in most cases, will not speak. Mr. Family, I'm not a lawyer, but based on my own experience here in the United States, the Attorney Generals in the United States do speak on critical state matters. They provide consistent updates, regular press briefing. So it is not wrong for Mr. Williams to say that this pronouncement should have come from the Minister of Justice. You have a joint security chaired by the Attorney General of the Republic of Liberia. The minister, the director of police is amendable to the Attorney General for the sake of coordination to make this more unified. That's the perspective from which Mr. Ware is coming from.
Exactly.
Now, look, to take this more important, it will be good for the Minister of Justice to come and say, hey, look, this is where we have somebody in the police has been identified, and this person has reportedly admitted to being compromised. And as a government, we have given the directive to the Minister of Justice, to the Director of Police, to relieve this person and charge this person and forward the person to court.
Now, gentlemen,
It is not wrong. It is not wrong for the man to say that.
Moses, let me hold you 1 minute. Moses,
Yes.
I think we are missing out on the substantive here.
Of course.
It's not about who pronounces whatever actions or decision. It's about what the IG said. The revelation is startling revelation. 1 minute, that some of our men are being investigated.
Of course.
I think that's the substance here. For police officers who's supposed to be helping the DA to crack down. If you saw the IG's face today, his facial appearance, you could tell that the IG was extremely disappointed for his men to be involved and going through the investigation. And for one of them to admit that, look, I told $10,000. It's troubling to the IG. I think that's the substantive, yeah.
Yes,
but what are the IG or the Inspector General? That's not a substantive. That's not the essential here. No. What we're talking about is the issue of police officers being investigated as confirmed by the Inspector General. Yeah, let's hear
Yes, let me just say something quickly, Saba. What I want to say here, it is not wrong for the Director of Police to speak, because like you said earlier, many of us who have been following cases in Liberia, we have an Attorney General that is media shy. So as a result, you have a very effective Director of Police who is communicating consistently. He's taking questions from journalists. So it's not bad for him to speak. But the clarification I wanted to provide here is that it is not wrong for the Attorney General to also speak on these issues. So now, the pronouncement by Konakoma today, I think is a very serious allegation level against this individual, and that raises a lot of concern that if we're going to have people in our security network that are compromised, then it means that the fight against drugs in Liberia is being undermined. So I agree. It's good for the director to speak, but that doesn't mean that the Minister of Justice cannot speak. No.
Moses, we didn't say it was. We didn't say the Attorney General is not supposed to speak. What I say, it is very clear here that in this kind of an event, mostly the authorities, the agencies that have their men involved, it is that agency that will speak. And whether you accept it or not, we all live in Liberia for many years. How many times have you heard Justice Minister coming on the radio with every small event to speak? I was there for the past 6 years. We never even heard Musa Dean come out one day to speak on issues. It was either Patrick Sulu or other people who were speaking. So do not come here and try to teach us something that we know. The Attorney General speaks on specific important issues. He has 4 organizations under his authority: the police, the DEA, the immigrations, and fire service. He states it, but at every given point in time, he gave them the chance, the authority to do their work. And if their men are involved in anything, that's why Johnny Bolade is not being turned over to the Ministry of Justice yet. He's been turned over to the same police to investigate him because there's a professional standard division. After that process, the report will be sent to him as the director. And then if there's evidence before, he will turn it over. Okay. You don't come here to teach us what we know.
So it's so appalling that somebody who claims to know a lot. I mean, the National Joint Security, that is the only four security apparatus. That is the only 4 security apparatus. Unless you know call 4 security apparatus.
That is National Joint Security.
That is false. The National Joint Security comprises of not less than 6 security agencies, and that is number 1, the NSA, the police, the LDEA, the immigration, the fire service, and the Executive National Protection Agency, the EPS, or better say what they call the protection service or whatever. That is 6. So we're going to say 4. That is misleading. That's 1.
But you didn't understand.
Please, stop distracting now. Let's try to be civil.
I said there are 4 security
No,
agencies.
but my man, you respect the man. The man speaking. Let the man continue.
Let's talk about distract. Let's respect the rule. Mr. Formula, there's a rule here, please. Good. So, of all the 6 security agencies or apparatus, the Minister of Justice
It's a blatant lie.
is the head of the National Joint Security, whatever agency or task force, the National Joint Security,
So let me
the
educate
Minister
you now.
of Justice.
So let me educate you, Chief.
When I finish, you can speak your opinion. So that protect me. The Minister of Justice,
I may not come out here.
who is the Attorney General,
Very serious note.
is the head of the national security. So in a case, the entire just investigation have started with the 19 million just burst at the Rabos field, the Rabos International Airport, has given birth to the recently discovered 317 million as per the report from the government based on intelligence gathered from some of those suspects.
Can I ask you a question? Can I ask you a question?
Go ahead.
The IG announcing about some of his colleagues, some of his
men.
personnel, his men being investigated.
It should have been nobody.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And what are the IG? What are the minister? A national or which one is important?
So everything is equally important in terms of the nature of the investigation as to who is who with the authority to investigate. But however,
you spoke on now.
Yeah.
so but if you do that, tonight it seems that apparently you work on the left side.
Yeah, we don't have much time. You spoke on.
There was someone you don't want to allow me
Now,
to learn.
gentlemen, this is strong.
How can a matter be at a national joint security? Then you get police IGB speaking about it.
1 minute, please. 1 minute.
It's appalling.
1 minute, you gotta
Go ahead.
Go
Go ahead, someone. Go ahead.
Now, gentlemen, we heard today. I know we may likely not cover the other issues because of time, but we heard today that some police officers have been investigated. The IG spoke about that. Although he didn't call the names, He said in subsequent time, if it is proven that they were involved, he's going to provide an update to call the names. Now, we had the issue of 19 million that we're investigating. We haven't yet completed that investigation. The issue of over 300 million worth of drugs again came to the fore. Now we are hearing about key members of our security apparatus. Dave, what does this tell you?
Well, what it tells me is that, but the first thing I'd like to say before I go to your question is that, look, this is a matter very sensitive. You don't have to shout. Yeah. You're shouting, I mean, it's irritating to other people's ears. So when you don't shout, it's insensitive already.
Let me ask you a question again.
So the what it tells me in Sabah is that, look, that tells us that, look, the way the drugs enter the country, and people are asking how did it, what happened at the Liberian National Police now is telling us that some of these people are the ports of entry. They sometimes connive with the drug traffickers. Because if a police officer who's supposed to be protecting lives and property is receiving 10,000 United States dollars from the same drug dealers who are in the custody of the same police, then it's absolutely disappointing or annoying. And this is why you see the police director is extremely irritated by the action of his men, particularly the how they call the guy, the chief or the deputy chief of police. That means that the officers, people who should be protecting our borders, our entry points, if they are taking bribe, then the drug traffickers, they will have small bribe. But another thing that we shouldn't overlook is that, look, I know there are other people, no matter you pay them the whole world, they'll still get involved in criminality. That should also tell the government or our authorities that these people who are assigned at the entry points at our borders should be handsomely paid. I'm not saying that if they are handsomely paid, it will absolutely eliminate the issue of drugs in our country, but it will be minimized. It will be minimized. You can have a police officer or an immigration officer being paid $150 United States dollars or $200 United States dollars, and the person is tempted with a 10,000, 500,000 United States dollars, and you'd expect the person, it's very, very hard for such a person to resist such a temptation. So there's a need that if we are discussing these things, we should also mention that our police officers, our security people who are mining our borders and airports, they should be handsomely paid to minimize the issue of dishonesty within our security system.
Okay. Edwin?
Yeah.
What does this tell us?
So, before I even go into that, and I will say this, sometimes it hurts when we take upon our time to come and sit here to educate people. Something that we've worked in, that we've lived in, that somebody who doesn't understand wants to come and argue. It's irritating. Let's be very candid here. I would never argue you on anything that has to do with journalism because that's how I feel. I've worked in security. I was trained and satisfied by the United States government. I'm not boasting, but my records are there. There are people in this country that know that.
I know, comrade.
All right. So when we come here, we sit here, we're not jokers. We have work to do. I came from my office. I have things to do. I took upon myself to come here to sit here to educate people. You're not paying me for it. You're not paying me for my time. So when we come here, please give us some level of respect.
And be willing to learn.
It is troubling. And I said that before, that drugs cartel do not just walk into a country.
Surely.
They build networks. What is within the authority, what is within the security aspect or so. They build networks. And nobody is going to sit in Colombia to send two guys 300 million plus worth of drugs, and they don't know that those guys have contacts. And I kept saying that we need to give the authorities the chance to dig deeper. And now that we're seeing some of these things are coming up the surface, it is gradually going to unveil some of the people who are involved. It's not just the two guys who were just apprehended. It's troubling because imagine this thing was on BBC yesterday. There are countries now that have started taking different route about how to deal with Liberia, how to deal with passport coming from Liberia,
Can you imagine that?
how to deal with people who are traveling from Liberia. In fact, just the other day we read data stop all cargo coming from Liberia. Do you know what that's going to do to people who are making businesses and things
surely.
back and forth? So when we take our time to come here to sit here, not for people to be shouting and try to argue things that they don't know. I sat here and said there are 4 security apparatus under the Ministry of Justice. First of all, the Minister of Justice does not control the joint security. There's an office at the Ministry of Justice that coordinates the affairs of the joint security. The NSA, the EPS are directly under the executive mansion. These are institutions that some of us work for before. So for you to come here and be shouting and acting the people don't know, don't do that.
Edwin,
That's disrespect.
Now, Moses, let's hear from you, Moses.
Disrespect.
Moses, let's hear from you.
Everything the guys have said, well said. They are all on point. But let me just piggyback on what Mr. Famula said. And most of the time, I think you guys may have heard me say, time is of essence. Time means a lot. If I have to take 2 hours of my time to sit on a show like this, in dollars and cents, do you know how much it costs? It's a lot. Just multiply that by 5. I'm not going to give you the figure, but in the United States, it costs a lot of money. But now, when you want to hold people accountable, you also have to hold yourself accountable. And Sober, Mr. Famula will agree with me. The same thing he's talking about, people going off tangent, disrupting other people, disrespecting other people. Mr. Famula does that. Sometimes when I call from the United States, I'm talking, Mr. Famula and Mr. George Kennedy are having side comments. If they say that lie, let them replay the tapes. If you want to be treated with respect, then you should treat others with respect. And Famula, I don't intend to be personal with you. You are my friend and brother, but I'm just saying that the rule must be the rule. The law must be the law.
No. I'm not saying don't speak. I've never argued with you on a mental health issue. I've never. That's why I'm saying you can say what you want to say. I have the right to disagree with you on issues that I have knowledge in. But what I'm saying that what I know and that you don't know, you cannot argue with me in that particular area. That's the fact. What are you like?
All right, gentlemen, let's try to take a few calls quickly.
I have not spoken.
All right, let's hear you quickly.
So
Be brief.
I mean, not you to tell me how to be brief. So this is clear. And Mr. Sandy, I want to be very grateful to you for the fact that you are only the person on the show tonight that can better understand from what angle I'm coming from. Let me tell you, whenever insecurity is seen, especially when it comes to criminal investigation.
Which word?
You understand?
Security scene.
We're not coming to teach English on the show.
Listen. I'll have to take my course. If I can, then we'll have to just close up.
If you want to deny me of speaking, fine.
No, go ahead quickly. But
So-
give me the space. You don't want to listen. Give it.
When it comes to criminal investigation, there is no way with what is happening currently. The police inspector general announcing a major person of interest. Then you say, oh, because the person is a police officer, so he get it right to go ahead. Is that what you guys are saying?
Take our calls, man.
Once the matter has been elevated, so but no, it's about public knowledge once the matter is being elevated to the national joint security level, it means it's above the police.
Already, the callers are calling already. I'm not even announcing numbers.
So
calling already 086 050507. Again, 086 050507. Let's take this first call on the line quickly. Let's hear you. Your name.
Good morning. I'm Jeremiah Williams. I want to know Mr. Really.
Go ahead, sir.
So, I don't want to believe that I'm coming closer to understand about the song the Liberia people sang the last time you know book, not know book I will put for you. We might not be people might not fool our education. From the time to time that we know of, when it comes to joint security, it's not police director with them. Mr. Gabriel have been doing this. The last time, even when they that 300 million plus drugs, he spoke, and DA that close to the authority to arrest drugs, you can never hear them talk about drug issues. Only Gabriel. So when it came out to joint security against Gabriel, that should have been the justice minister.
Okay.
But with everything elevated by Gabriel, we don't care here about any other person again. DA can speak, and justice minister can speak, only Gabriel. So that does not mean because it was policemen that were accused, so he had a right, or because he was irritated, he had a right to pronounce that they arrested policemen. No.
Okay.
The king should go see the scene.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you. Let's take this caller. Hello?
So,
yes, sir. Let's hear you quickly.
so good evening, and let me say good evening to your panelists.
Mhm.
So, I want to pick one with you tonight.
Go ahead.
My name is Theophilus T. Tobe II. And what I want to, to say is that, so if you want to conduct the show based on grammar, you do it. But you cannot cherry pick. When the person speak and the person miss, let's say the person not speak well, you cut them off, and the other person come and make grammatical or the person come and make mistake, and then you keep them on the line. What I'm trying to say, you can remember, and your panelists there can also remember, that there was a time Eugene Wagon said something. You cut Wagon off because you said children were listening to the radio and they were learning from the show. So a government official or a public official cannot come to the radio to speak foreign English and you allow such a person to learn. You cut Eugene Wagon off. Today, you have Mr. Koji on the line who said, where his name, Sandy asked him a question. Was it okay, it was the counselor you have in studio. The counselor asked him a question whether he has senatorial ambition. Mr. Koji said, let me quote him. He said, when I return to the mother's land, did that English sound good to you in your ears? You allow Koji learn there without you cutting Koji off. When Sandy even asked Koji the question also.
So what are you insinuating now, brother? What are you saying? Let's hear you quickly because there are others on the line.
If you can cut Eugene Wagon off the line because he said that he spoke wrong English and you kept Koji on the line to learn on his point when he spoke the same wrong English and you did not cut it off, you're trying to make me to think that you are a sedition.
Okay, I know what you think. That's it. I don't have a problem with your thinking.
You are a sedition. I'm saying you're trying to make me to think so because you called
One minute now. 1 minute.
But you get the other man on because he spoke the same bad English, right? But
You said Koji said when I return to my mother's land, right?
to my mother's land.
Yeah.
When I return to my mother's land. When I return to the mother's land. That is not English.
I don't know why you really mean that, but I mean I'm still not getting what you're saying because I come in 1 minute now, comrade. 1 minute now, my brother. 1 minute. 1 minute.
But
1 minute now. 1 minute.
yeah.
Yeah. Fagon said Amara Kone and Edwin Snow goes.
Yes.
And what you making reference to?
Yes.
Okay. So maybe when the guy says it didn't maybe it might have slipped my mind, so I slipped my ears. So but I'm not a sedition. Let me clarify that.
Okay, so for background, then ask them.
All right, you made a point of it. 0886050507. I don't think we'll have much time to take more calls, gentlemen, because the discussion exhausted bulk of our time. We can take additional calls. I'm sure we'll have to take more calls tomorrow, this time around, and those issues that we didn't talk about today, we're going to talk about them. To talk about some startling revelations made by Samuel Twell about some drama within the Unity Party. We're going to talk about that. It's very important. Very, very important. He appeared on the local show and he said that. Let me get to all of you. I said, without taking call, my people. Still, let me get to this guy. I don't know what a male or woman on this line. Let's hear you quickly for 30 seconds. Hello?
I'm Dennis. Yeah, hello?
Yeah, let's hear you quickly.
Yeah, I'm Dennis. I'm calling from Mother Point.
Okay, Dennis, let's hear from you.
Yes, I want to make a point.
Mm-hmm.
If there is anything concerning the job security, like this concerning this job, and the president appointed the justice minister, then appointed the justice minister, or somehow appointed the police inspector general. So, if there's anything if the inspector general got a right to discipline any of his office under him before sending the report to the justice minister.
I agree.
So if the police inspector general dismisses or any of his senior officers for investigation, after the report, he would send it to his boss.
Okay. All right.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Let's get a party comment quickly. Dave.
Yeah.
Tom has cut off first, please.
I'm learning a lot from Mr. Wion in terms of words. He's, I was just testing him I thought you were not even sure of that word.
Securitism.
No, securitism, yes, it's a word. It's
Well,
an illiberal political ideology.
Good.
Yes, yes. But I was just pulling your license to make sure whether you were sure of it.
That's your party comment?
Yeah, no, not my party. But my party comment is that the show was a fine show. And it's unfortunate that most of our viewers and listeners didn't have the time. And I think we need to, push on a specific time for people who wanting to contribute. Good night.
Edwin?
Yes, it was a good show as always, and happy pre-independence to the Liberian people. The president is in Bassa with his team today for the first time after 37 years. Grand Bassa is electrified. The president turned off the lights 6 o'clock this afternoon. But just to educate my colleague here, the criminal justice system of every country has 3 layers. The police is the first, the court is the second, and the correction is the third. So in every criminal investigations, whether it's drugs, whether it's crime, it starts with the police to give updates.
Thank you. Edwin, let's see.
It's just unfortunate that Mr. Formula, and that is why, once the matter is being elevated, every criminal investigation, once it is being elevated to national security level, it means it is no longer before the police. It is at the level of the Joint Security, the Joint Security Council that is being chaired by the Minister of Justice.
Okay.
So that is
no, comrade. You can't be going to that, man. Please. Let's hear you, Moses. Moses, let's hear your party comment.
That things you don't know, you don't
Moses, okay. All right, gentlemen, we have to go. We have to go. Let me reference some of our viewers quickly. Vinicius Junior Bag, Honorable Papi Success Keita. I've been watching Ophelia S. George. Been home watching Derek P. Jara. Been watching Jonah Kolingo Dogba. Been watching Bo Abdullah Yaba. Been watching Honorable Wilmond Lee McCready. Been watching Mark Burrow. Jem been watching, Hiton Legit been watching, Imaya Bro from the years been watching, Eric Passway been watching, Karamo Sako been watching, Rama Christian Radio Television been watching, Roberto Richard from the US been watching, and Gerrit Koyon been watching, Saros B. Zulu been watching, Pastor Samuelson been watching. Well, we can call all of you name until then. Saba George is my name. Join us tomorrow for another edition.